Hey guys, I am back again with another historical playthrough. We just defeated Giovanni. Let me check the badges, actually. So we have 3 out of the 8 badges. We're gonna be going after our 4th badge. If I can figure out how to get out. There we go. So today we are going to be facing Erica, and yeah, I don't have a fire member on my team. I also don't have somebody who's cut. I can teach it to Venusaur. As much as I hate doing that, oh well, kind of has to be taught. So normally I don't record at night, but the reason why I'm recording this late on a Sunday is just because I had to re-record my audio for my Insurgents playthrough, because it didn't pick up my guest who is Toast, and tomorrow I have to defend my lesson plans to get a seal on my certificate, which I'm excited to do. It means that as a teacher I am better at it. Oh look, it's a pervy man. But I know this is like different because I'm doing Pokemon and education at the same time. So I have to say I'm having a ton of fun with this series, just because like I feel like I can connect in this way because it is something I'm very passionate about. And today I kind of wanted to talk about American history in general, mainly the Civil War, because a lot of people assume the Civil War was fought over slavery. I hate poison powder for that reason. But it was actually fought more over states' rights rather than anything else. Oh my god, I'm getting like double teamed. And the reason why I say it was fought over states' rights is just because, well, the reason why the states started to rebel is because the federal government came in and they said, oh, you can't have slaves anymore. We're going to change how everything works. And these southern states were like, no, we don't want you to come in. We don't want you to control us. And we're going to fight because we still want to continue our peculiar institution, which is what they called slavery back then. So because of this, a lot of people believe the idea that slavery was the main cause of the Civil War. It wasn't really. Abraham Lincoln really does say he doesn't want a divided nation, so he's going to reunite it. And he fights the war just to prove that states do have their own power, but the power isn't going to be overruled by the federal, or they're not going to overrule the power of the federal government. So because of this, you have the Civil War that comes out, which you have thousands of people die. It's the bloodiest war in U.S. history because, well, you're having 2 sides of the U.S. fight each other, the North and the South. Now, what's really interesting and funny and confusing, I hate being asleep, by the way, about the Civil War itself is you have brother versus brother, uncles versus uncle, cousin versus cousin, and you see this dynamic of where these families, even though you are related to the person, you hate them because they're on the opposite side. They're fighting against you because they don't believe in the same thing you do. And the Civil War will tear apart families in that way. And it's crazy. Another poison powder. It's crazy to think about it that way because, well, when you're family, you shouldn't hate each other that much. And these families did because they couldn't stand that their relatives were fighting to either end or continue slavery. And a lot of these people hated that. Well, I hate poison powder. Gosh dang it. Now, what's also really funny about the Civil War is every battle has 2 names. It has the northern name and the southern name. So, like, Bull Run is also known as Antietam, or Bull Run is known as Manassas. Gettysburg is just Gettysburg. And then you have battles like Shiloh, which are fought in the South, where you have this very unique perspective because this is where the North will start invading the South, and a lot of people in the South aren't very happy with it. Stun Spore, great. Glad I'm gonna have to run back to the Pokemon Center again. No, don't be paralyzed. But this is also where we're gonna see a lot of our medical technologies improve during the Civil War. And with that improvement, we're going to see a lot of different inventions come about. Like the railroads will really explode after the Civil War. This is where we're going to see the birth of the robber barons such as Cornelius Vanderbilt, whose son actually does die in the Civil War. His firstborn son, the one that he wanted take over his business, but because the guy's son died, he couldn't. And I have to say, this is a very interesting time period because of just the dynamics of the country at this point in time. Now, I really do love the Civil War. You know what, actually, I'm going to fight everybody. I'm going to level up as much as I can here. Yeah, I'm like trying to level up the easiest way. Oh, I hate sleep powder. Gosh dang it. I'm not gonna wake it up either. Yes, wake up. Thank you. Yes, let's switch over to you. We're gonna give everybody practice. Don't get poisoned. But what I was saying is, like, the Civil War will give rise to the ironclad ships. We're gonna see a rise in guns, like technology dealing with guns and everything. Because this is gonna be the first time we're gonna have a war where it's kind of mechanicalized. Like, this is the first time we see the machine gun. This is gonna be the first time we're going to see grenades and different types of ideas coming out. Different types of military strategies that will define the 21st century. I'm gonna send out King. Oh great, I'm glad I at least survived one battle. Now the first ironclads are going to be the Merrimac and the Monitor, which they will clash and end up becoming a tie. But there is a ton of ironclad ships that you can look up online to see what they're all named. And it's actually kind of interesting because this is also where you start to see them playing around with submarine technology because, well, there wasn't anything like submarines back then. So because of this, they start to invent the technology for submarines and they start to create the technology that they need to bring battle to the 21st century. This is our first true modern war in a way for the US, at least our test. Now, when the North and the South do reunite, the 13th Amendment is already signed. 13th Amendment gives freedom, it ends slavery. 14th Amendment guarantees civil rights to anyone who is a naturally born citizen. Which is kind of interesting because they passed, the president after Lincoln, Johnson, he passes that instead of signing a civil rights bill because he didn't want to sign a civil rights bill. And then after Johnson, there's not going to be another Southern president until Woodrow Wilson. So most of our presidents are going to be from the North after the Civil War because there was such a bitter taste in the mouth of a lot of people. Because the South does get blamed for the Civil War itself. I'm just going to keep Oddbroken and hope for the flinch hacks. Yes! And it missed. I'm sorry, I was done with, like, getting paralyzed and stuff like that. Not very happy with it. Why did I do that? No! Gosh dang it. I'm hoping it fights through it. But I'm gonna switch out because I don't want it to die and I want it to get experience. Let's do just... No! Come on! Dang it. Yes. Whirlwind. But as I was saying, Woodrow Wilson is going to be our first president after the Civil War, and because of that, he's going to be the first one from the South. And a lot of people consider Wilson a really good president, but at the same time, he really, I hate sons for, he really wasn't, because he's the reason why we have so many problems after World War I, because he didn't communicate with the Republican Party, and we refused to sign the Treaty of Versailles, and because of that, Germany had no allies in the League of Nations, which forced them into paying reparations, which is a fancy way of saying that they owed the countries that fought against them in World War I a lot of money, and they couldn't pay it because America was paying them. So because of that, they actually had to rely on us paying them, and then they'd pay their creditors, which are the people they owed money to because of the war itself. And because of that, when our economy fell, which when we hit the Great Depression, when we hit Black Tuesday, that's when we end up seeing the world pretty much fall apart, because we were the ones who were paying back Germany. Germany was paying back Italy, France, and Great Britain. And once we fell, then nobody was paying back anybody else. So it was ridiculous, because once we fell, everything was done. And it's kind of sad too at the same time, because if it wasn't for that fact, we probably wouldn't have seen Adolf Hitler's rise. His rise was only caused by the fact that Germany was so unstable after World War II that Germans needed somebody that they could believe in, honestly. And they believed in Hitler because he was so charismatic. He promised to bring back jobs, which honestly he did bring back jobs, but you can't exclude what else he did. Which, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about it that way. And with that fact, you have the idea of what is a dictator coming about, because this is a time period where you have the rise of Mussolini, you have the rise of Stalin, you have the rise of, what's the guy's name in Spain? I don't even remember his name. He ended up taking Spain out of the wars and didn't do much at all, if anything. So he's not that important. So it's a very interesting time, because you have the rise of these great dictators, but at the same time, you have the rise in U.S. military forces as well, where we're fighting Pancho Villa on the borders between the U.S. and Mexico. And we also have this concept right now of the tanks coming about. And you're going to see like tanks start to come about during World War I, more used during World War II. I hate poison powder. Oh my gosh. I'm going to, after this, I'm going to heal up one more time, and then I'm going to try and fight her. See if I'm high enough level to where I can, sweep some. Yes, I won. Oh, great. At least it's just one executor, which I wish they gave executor an Alolan form, not just execute, because that would have been kind of cool to see, but they didn't. I'm trying to get more consistent, guys, too, so bear with me. It will take me some time. Last week was a little bit hectic for me, and I just couldn't bring myself to record because I didn't want to feel rushed during my videos, which really does suck. But right now, I'm just going to record this and maybe my next week's episode of Insurgents, because it is just going to be me next week. I really do enjoy playing Insurgents, so... But going back to the topic of history, history is such a unique subject because it's not always black and white. There's always this gray area in history where you're not entirely sure who's correct or who's not, because looking back on it, we can judge history by what other people did. Oh my gosh, I am so underleveled. This isn't even funny. Great. This is gonna be fun. But you're gonna look back on history and it's not always black and white. There's always this gray area where you really can't judge what happened in the past because you weren't exactly there, and something that was acceptable back then isn't acceptable now, which really does cause a lot of problems when we're talking about history. If you're teaching history and you're talking about slavery. Oh, flipper. Okay, this is gonna suck. I'm hoping I get a flinch or something. No. Freaking Giga Drains. And it paralyzed. Wonderful. Let's try Timmy. Go, Timmy. God dang it. No, mother flipper flop. Alright. We can hope to defeat this thing. There we go. No. I'm hoping the wing attacks is just going to take everything out. Oh great, Ingrain. But as I was saying, history is very black and white because we judge it from a 21st perspective where we see everything like we do in the 21st century, when we really can't judge everything that way because everything's not so black and white. There's always going to be this weird gray area in history where the gym wasn't as bad as I thought. We have this ability to look back in the past and be like, okay, this is what everybody did wrong back then, but at the same time, it's not something we can easily answer. It's not something that's easily defined or explained. So it is what it is, and I have fun teaching it. I really do. So I think I'm gonna go for a little bit more. I'm gonna see if I remember how to get through here. I think I have to go buy lemonade. Yeah, I do. Let me go buy the lemonade, and I'll get over to where Team Rocket is again, and then I will go over there. Let's go in the elevator. 5. Woot. I think I have to buy it. If I don't remember and I can't figure it out, I will have to save and figure it out later. Well, I got reflect. I think this is the way it works. I don't know. Hold on, let me buy another lemonade and soda pop. Let me buy all the drinks just in case. Soda pop. Lemonade. At least the only thing I have to change on my layout this time around is the question of the day. Because I didn't evolve anybody. Be kind of funny if that happened where I evolved somebody last minute, but I haven't. So yeah, the next time I either am going to start, dang it, I don't know how to do this. I have to find where to get the tea, I think it is. So guys, this is goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. Give this video a like. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? Should I change any of my Pokemon's nicknames? And guys, definitely check out my Insurgents playthrough. I still need a name for my Delta species Grimer. Have a great day, guys. Bye.